یه وقت من تو بازار میرفتم 20 سالم بود، یه آقای بود رد میشد تو بازار سوار مرکب، بازاریا احترام بلاش قائل بودن، یعنی شکوم داشتن به این آقا سلام بکنن و اونم رو ضرب جواب میداد، میگفت سلام علیکم سلام علیکم. من دم درام رام رام درام رام رام اینه گرفتم و اومدم تو خونه و این آهنگ تو مغزم اومد.
Long ago, Iranians used to wake up to the melodic sound of one of the iconic masters of classical Persian music, Hasan Kasai's song, Salam or Greetings. The renowned ney player who found the hidden potentials of the traditional Persian ney. In a way, you can say that all the reed flute players in Iran, directly or indirectly, are his pupils.
من در سال 1332 تصادفاً یک روز که به مدرسه میرفتم تو خیابون از رادیوی مغازه ها صدای نی استاد کسایی رو شنیدم. من علاقمند به این ساز شدم. بعد از 1-2 سال یه نامه‌ای نوشتم به استاد کسایی و تقاضای کمک کردم از ایشون هم من دعوت کردن اصفهان رو رفتم و در نهایت محبت و لطف راهنمایی کردن.
Since ancient times, the ney or reed flute has been favored for producing rhythmic sounds. Made from a plant that can be found all across the world, the ney or reed. By studying the illustrations on the walls of the tombs in Egypt and ancient Greece, and according to the findings in Peru, this end-blown musical instrument can be dated back to at least 3,000 years ago. Considered as the forefather of the modern flute, the ney has always been known for its rich and sad sound. Neys can have different sounds depending on the location of the reed bed and the weather of the region in which the reeds grow, which in turn determine the length and thickness of the reed stems. In Iran, we have many musical instruments with different structures that are made using reeds. All of these wind-blown instruments have experienced many changes over the years, both in structure and finger placement. The most important reed flute in Iran is ney haft band, or the 7-segment ney.
چون در اون سالها نوازنده نی نبود، چون با ارکسترهای مختلف هم شروع به کار کردم، ناچار بودم که انگشت‌گذاری خاصی برای نی درست کنم که با اون راحت باشم در ارکستر، که این کارو کردم.
Because of the depth of its sound, the ney has always been favored by Sufis and mystic artists, and has been depicted in many illustrations such as the wall paintings at the famous 40-column pavilion in Isfahan. In Persian poetry, renowned poets such as Rumi and Hafiz have mentioned the ney countless times in their poems.
آن کیست که از روی کرم با من وفاداری کند، بر جای بدکاری چو من یک دم نکوکاری کند. اول به بانگ نای و نی آرد به دل پیغام وی، وانگه به یک پیمانه می با من وفاداری کند.
A typical Persian ney has 7 segments, 6 knots and 6 holes, one of which is on the back. The pitch of the ney varies depending on the finger arrangement. A highly skilled flute player can reach more than 3 octaves, but it's common to have several additional reed flutes to cover different pitch ranges or for playing technically difficult passages. The upper edge of the ney is placed inside the mouth between the 2 upper front teeth. By making use of a new finger placement chart, which was created by Master Persian Ney, playing the reed flute became much easier. Master Ney has spent the better part of his life, more than 50 years, training young and enthusiastic pupils in the art of the ney, and has produced many outstanding players such as Mohsen Rusta.
مدت 25 سال پیش من کار کردن و هم از نظر تئوری خیلی قوی هستن، هم از نظر عملی.
ساز نی برخلاف ساختمون ساده‌ای که داره، ساز بسیار سختیه. مشکل اولش همون در بودن صداشه که همون اول نمیشه صدای نی در بیاری. شما الان هر سازی رو با یه زخم کوچیک بهش زدن صداش در میاد، چه ویولون باشه چه تار، ولی نی اولین مشکلش صداشه.
There are many ways to play the ney. For example, in one technique, a small stream of air is directed with the tongue over the entrance of the ney, while the upper lip surrounds the upper part of the ney. By moving the lip and tongue, you can change the pitch and the tone. Well, this wasn't supposed to go like this. I was supposed to hold it, blow, and play a symphony. I couldn't even make a sound. This is rather difficult. Now that I've tried it, I think it's like learning a new language. You have to know how to hold the ney, all the correct forms of finger placements. You also have to train your diaphragm so that you don't run out of breath. After all, the ney is a wind instrument. And now we continue. Even though both timbre and loudness have an infinite variety, in a sense, the ney didn't used to have a part in orchestras because of the restrictions of its range. All that changed in 1950 when Master Kasai fully revolutionized playing the ney and gave it a prominent role. The instruments that complement the sound of the ney in duet and group performances are string, percussion, and classical instruments. You can't make a really good ney out of just any reed. The best ones used to make this musical instrument come from the reed beds found in the dry and desert regions around the cities of Kashan, Qom, and Isfahan. Once they're cut, they're left to dry for 2 whole years in a shadowed area. Then they're sun-dried for 1 whole summer. That is when they can be worked. Making a ney also requires a lot of hands-on experience, from heating its uneven notes to coating it with a mixture made from toasted ground hulled sesame seeds to making the holes, bandaging its knots with deerskin and wood glue, and finally decorating the piece. A ney maker needs to know all the techniques and timings.
کسی که بخواد نی بسازه اولا باید یه چیزایی از نی بدونه، یعنی گوش قوی داشته باشه، صدای نی رو بتونه در بیاره. بعد جنسی هم که انتخاب میکنه، جنس نی رو باید خیلی دقت بکنه. نیای طرفای شمال اینا پوکه، این نی باید یه چوب سختی داشته باشه که اون صدایی که ازش میخوای واقعا صدای نی بده، صدای لوله نده.
Like we said, the ney has been mentioned extensively in the old poetry of Iran. So it's not surprising that here it is that very same poetry that's been burnt onto this piece of reed and has been used to decorate this beautiful ney. How can we talk about the Persian ney without naming Nayeb Asadullah, the first master in Iran who was well versed in playing the Persian ney? According to Master Asadullah, I was the one who took the reed flute from the sheep's pen to the king's court. When God created man, he blew a part of his spirit into the clay, the breath of life. Our spirit longs to be reunited with its origin, longs to be whole again. Perhaps in his most famous poem, Rumi says that the sound of the ney calling out to the reed bed is reminiscent of that longing. This is Gulnaz Farnudi for Iran.